For as long as I can remember, I've wanted to visit the Isles of Scilly, and what a breathtaking way to catch my first glimpse. The unique group of islands are famed for their subtropical ecosystem and unspoilt beaches, and I can't wait to explore. One of the 5 inhabited islands is Tresco.
And it's here in the Abbey Gardens where a treasure trove of exotic plants flourish that would struggle to survive on the British mainland just 30 miles away.
Built around the ruins of a 12th century abbey, the gardens contain over 20,000 different species of plants from across the world.
These palm trees are what give the garden that tropical feel, and they're called the Canary Island palm, and I think the name speaks for itself.
And it's not just the plants that are exotic.
This is a golden pheasant, and they just run around the gardens freely. I think he's a bit hungry.
Mike Neelams has worked on the estate for over 40 years and is now the garden curator.
Mike, thanks so much for having us at Tresco Abbey. It's absolutely stunning. What can you tell me about the history of this garden?
Well, the garden was started just under 200 years ago. The Smith family came here in 1834, and one of the things they did was plant up a garden. But very quickly they found it was different, partly because of our climate. We have the Gulf Stream that comes by, we have shelter around the garden, and the main thing is that we just don't get cold in the winter. And so because of that, we can grow plants from every Mediterranean climate zone in the world. So mostly Southern Hemisphere, places like California, Chile, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Canary Islands, all these warm places, not too hot, not too cold.
So I'm seeing plants that I've never seen before. What can you tell me about this one?
This is a plant called agave, and it lives in the deserts of Mexico and California. And it's actually now flowering. So that flower spike's gone up about, what, 20 foot in just about 6 or 7 weeks.
And what's this beautiful orange plant over here?
Oh, this is lovely. This is called Watsonia, and it comes from a corm or a bulb.
Right.
The foliage is there all year, but it produces these lovely little orange flowers. It's slightly going over now, but you can see how nice it could be.
What does this garden look like in January?
Well, we just don't get frost here. So this year alone, we had just over 350 different plants in flower.
You live in paradise.
Well, it's not bad,
And you're in England.
Well, this is the point. We're in England, but it looks like the Caribbean.
And what is your favourite plant in this garden?
Well, probably the South African group of plants are amongst my favourite, and one particularly, it's called the king protea. Okay. It has a flower about this big, sort of half the size of a football, and it flowers at most times of the year.
Should we go find one?
We'll see if we can find one for you. So, Kelly, here's the king protea.
I need a closer look.
Well, do you want to get down there?
Yeah, can I?
Okay.
Do you mind? Help me down. Oh, here we go. I'm in.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Whoops. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So sorry.
No, it doesn't matter in the slightest. We cut them back. It doesn't matter.
Really? Is it an endangered plant?
No,
is it exotic?
not a bit. No, dead common.
Dead common. Just like me. Perfect. We're a match made in heaven.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Every inch of the garden is covered in wild and wonderful flowers, and I could spend all day wandering around learning about each and every one of them.
Now this is a pincushion plant. Now a good tip is to plant this in a pot, put it in the ground outside, and that way it will survive all summer and it's easier to pick up in the winter months and bring it inside. Unlike here, where it survives outside all year round. Succulents are really fashionable at the moment, and this particular variety is a purple one from Gran Canaria, and it really thrives here on Tresco. But if you want to grow this at home, I would suggest putting it in a pot, on your windowsill or on the patio in a really sunny space. I've seen these agapanthus growing all over the islands. They grow like weeds, but they're native to South Africa. And for me, they really encapsulate the beauty of this place and the Isles of Scilly.
People come from far and wide to visit the gardens, which are open throughout the year.
Where are you from?
Some Barnsley.
So you've come quite a long way, haven't you?
Yeah.
And has it been worth it?
Oh, definitely.
Isn't it stunning?
And the whole islands are just fantastic.
Absolutely
and the gardens
brilliant.
are great.
How did you hear about the gardens?
I've known about it for years,
Really?
but never been here before. It was a holiday in the Scillies, so that's a must-do, come to the gardens.
And what's your first impression of the gardens?
I didn't realise it was so tropical.
For me, this place is a slice of heaven filled with exotic beauty, and it's no surprise that people are drawn here.
After a day of discovering new plants and flowers and getting inspiration for my own garden, I thought it was time to sit down and just take in this breathtaking view.